Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Guardian Gang SMP. My name's Danny, and today we have two things I want to do. And they are both in the starter village. Back when we did the library, we talked about terraforming this because that doesn't look the prettiest. I'm just saying, and this river is a little bit funky. What's going on here? What's going on here? And I'm also going to sleep. It's getting late. We also have to do some terraforming up front. We want a pretty tree here. And I don't think this was talked about back when we did the library, but we wanted a little bit of a garden over here, or like a fountain or something. Good spelling, Megan. Good spelling. See, and what does it? Yep, garden. So this area we're gonna have to figure out, because that's what this door was for, to lead out to the garden. And so we have to make this area pretty, and we also have to make the view over here look pretty, because this river is a mess. We can't have that. After that, just to continue talking for a little bit, I want to finally have a little copper shop over here. So yeah, I've had these two signs here for a long time, and nothing has come out of it right so far. But I have a design, and I'm very excited. Yeah, let's start with the terraforming and see how that goes. So the terraforming is done, and I'm gonna show you guys the garden first. And big props to Megan. She was mostly the person who did this. So let's see, what did I do? I helped with the moss, and I did the fountain in these two trees, which were just basically copies of these, which she did. But she did the rest, and I think she did a great job. I absolutely love how this place looks. And here we can see the cliffs, which Megan also helped with. Me and her, we worked on this together. We extended kind of the ground to this height. There was a little ground of land here, I'm not sure if you remember, and now that is gone. And we also gave this the same cliff treatment kind of over here. So now this river, if I can stand in the water, please and thank you, looks a lot more like a river as you come on through. It doesn't end awkwardly, and it keeps a pretty reasonable width as you go throughout. And then this is the garden from over here. You can see the leaves droop down a bit. I think it looks very nice, and I'm proud of it. And I'm also proud because we basically get to call this place finished. We've done everything we set out to do, and I'm proud. And now it's time for a copper shop. And I'm very excited, as I have already said. There have been 2 new additions to the starter village since the last clip. So first is my copper shop, which I have elected to call the Cavalier's Copper. And that is because when I was looking at words that started with C, so I could kind of do something where it's C something copper, because I thought that'd be pretty cool. And then I stumbled across the word Cavalier, right? And I had this image of jousting. But instead of the normal joustings, it's the lightning rods. It's like this. Let me get on one of these horses. Let's get on you. just jousting. Let me get the carrots out of my hand. Oh, they're following me. I forgot that's new. They're just jousting with the lightning rods. I thought that was pretty funny. So I decided to go with Cavalier's Copper. And now you guys can have that image of a Cavalier jousting with a lightning rod. Just like me. Thank you. All right, let's put this back. This roof is technically not final. Okay, nope, I can't sit right there. I want it to be a gradient, but I'm too lazy to set all the copper out and let it oxidize. So I just build it and I'm just gonna AFK. Very similar to how I did the dragon. I just built it with normal copper and I just let it oxidize over time. I feel like that's the lazy way. It takes longer, yes, but it's the lazy way. And so the goal with this roof is to have the top I have wax so it won't oxidize, but I want it to be like that color, the oxidized one, at the bottom, and then it will get more orange as you go up to kind of make it look like this part of the building is older and they've added onto it, and so that part of the roof is newer and thus more orange. I feel like that's pretty cool. And so let's actually go inside. Like most shops around here, it's actually free. This is a community storage addition to the starter village, so it's kind of a pay what you like. So if people want to give me stuff, they can. It doesn't have to be diamonds. I just put a diamond there. And then here we have the copper, and I filled up the bottom 3. Like, this feels like a lot, right? Like, that's a lot of copper, but that only goes to 9 stacks. And then these are empty. I didn't want to put my entire copper supply in here. I have to AFK some more. And then the upstairs is almost kind of like a house. You got a bedroom. I tried to cover up the deep slate from down below. You'll see what I mean. And yeah, that's all there is. And here is the outside, which I tried to make this look like this is where they actually make the copper, where they take the raw copper and they put it in the forge and then they cool it down in the water and then they put it on this big anvil to hammer it. Don't know what this is supposed to be. It just felt empty. So that's the copper shop, and I really like this building. I'm a big fan of it. We got 2 signs. We got the one there, the one here. I feel like every medieval building built in Minecraft in like 2012 had something like this. Where you have it hanging down, but you'd use like fences because we didn't have chains, and then you just smack a block with item frames with the product that you were selling. Like bakery would have bread. Oh, that is such old school Minecraft. And then the other thing, this is to poke fun at Rosamund, because she put a sign here a long time ago claiming that she would build a shop here, right? And she hasn't. So Megan and I, we greenified the area. She didn't want the back of her pub visible anymore, so we just greenified it to cover it up. So now if you want to see the back of the pub, you have to walk through the trees. And let's play a game. Let's play spot the difference between these trees and these custom trees. They're very similar because I added oak leaves to make them look a bit better, and I even pruned some of them so they weren't so oddly shaped, because some of them they grew and it was like, that's really weird. And then this kind of makes this one look like a custom tree, just adding that block there. So these are the cheap off-brand custom trees. These are the actual custom trees. So these are my first ones. I just keep talking, don't I? I'm gonna keep talking, and thank you guys for listening. But something I want, these were my first custom trees ever. Ever. Like, period. And there's definitely some things I would change with them. Like, I think there's too much bark showing. I don't feel like the leaves spread out far enough from the logs. Like, what is that? Why isn't there one like off this block or whatever? I feel like they cling too close. But this one is quite a bit more airy. It's still got some problems with it, I think, specifically like right here. Like, why is there no leaf like right there or right there? But I'm not fixing it. I don't have leaves on me. But this tree, I feel like, is a significant improvement. You can see that it's more airy on the inside. The leaves aren't clinging to their branches nearly as much, and I love to see that improvement from these trees to the one inside the community center to this bigger one over here to that one right there. I feel like this episode is going to end up a little bit shorter, but honestly, that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't want to force content on you guys, but there is one more thing I want to show. That is down here. I've made a little bit of a hole down here. And I talked about mining down to bedrock in the last episode for deep slate. It didn't quite process in my head that when I did this, it was about 20 blocks. And this is about 60. And so what I actually started doing is, if we look, this is a chunk. And so I started mining this out until we got to the cave that we started exploring in the last episode. And I ended up finding an amethyst that we could potentially use later for a farm. Though I do want to see if a bigger one is possible. Was it this direction or the other direction? I'm not sure. Nope, there it is. It's like this one, it's pretty tiny, and I destroyed part of it because a creeper exploded in here. But this could kind of work for a farm, but it's so tiny, and we only really have half of it, which is a bit unfortunate. So I think I'm going to explore a little bit more, but that is contender number 1 for a future amethyst farm. But this hole is really big, and every single like layer is 16 by 16, so I think that gives me 4 stacks of like deep slate, which is quite a bit. And so I think just whenever I'm bored, I think I'm just going to mine this out more, because that's what I do when I'm bored and I have free time. I just log on to a world and I'll just do absent-minded resource gathering. It's a good way to make it so when I do want to build something, I have the supplies that I don't quite need to be like, shoot, time to go get this number of stuff. I just already have it. So that tends to work out well. That's just my play style. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the terraforming and the copper farm, and that little bit of a preview for what could be coming up in the future. All depends if I find a better one or not. Is that a... What is that? Where was that? What? Huh? How did you get here? I'm so sorry you're stuck here. Anyway, okay, I'm getting distracted. Thanks for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time. And until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.